So the other day I was watching a YouTube channel called World War Wisdom. It's a reenactor, and he talks about reenactor things. But anyway, he did this 1911 pistol qualification test. And so we have a 1911 and we have a range. So let's us do the pistol qualification test. It gives us a good excuse to get out some old 45s and do some shooting. All right, so here's the handgun we're going to be using today. This is a Springfield Armory mil spec, not the Springfield Armory from World War II, the modern one. It has a 5-inch barrel, just like any government model would have. Of course, it's a 45 auto. The one thing that it probably has a little bit better than the original 1911s are the sights. The sights are a little bit better. We have to admit that, but I mean, it's a handgun, and it's wore pretty good. It's got some wear marks because I carry this handgun quite a lot. But anyway, let's get into this test and do a little shooting and have a little fun. All right, so here we are at the first stage of the test. We're at 25 yards. We have a air target set up to simulate the World War II target, but it's the way we want it. And I have all the time in the world to fire 5 shots and then 5 shots. Here we go. And this is supposed to be done one-handed like they used to shoot back then. That's not off to a good start. I was shooting over it, I think. All right, so we got to score we'll score this, and then we'll come back and shoot our next 5 shots. And I was shooting way too fast. I should have slowed down. All right, so we've just been down there and we measured and scored the first part of round 1. And I didn't like the way I performed. I didn't hit the steel but twice, but I didn't do as bad as I thought I did. I was just barely missing the steel. I got 42 out of a possible 50 points on that round. So we do that exact same test one more time. Oh man. Oh man. All right, let's go see how we did that time. All right, so the center is here. Of course, that's the center. We also got a center mark back here. So what we have to do is we have to measure the holes from the center. I didn't miss too bad on that one, but I really pulled that one. So what we do is we measure from the center to the hole. That's 8 3/4, and this one is 5 3/4. So I write that down: 5 3/4, 8 3/4. All right. Put this back up and measure from the center: 2.5, 2, 3. All right. 3, 2.5, and 2. All right, and then there's a and then we have a chart here we had to follow that tells us the value of the hits. So 5 3/4 is 8 points. 8 3/4 is 6 points. 3 is 9 points. 2.5 is 10 points, and 2 is 10 points. So on that round, I got a total of 20, 35, and then that would be 43. So I actually did a 1 point better on that round than I did on the last round. So make sure we don't count the same holes again. We'll take and tape these holes over. Even the ones on the steel will tape over. Make sure my target's not moving. My center point stands. I didn't explain it too well, but the center point is up here above the diamond. All right, there we go. Let's go back up to the tripods and start round 2. So here we are at stage 2. Stage 2 is a speed round. It's a rapid fire round. We have 11 seconds to fire 5 shots. We have to do that 2 times from 15 yards and 2 times from 25 yards. All right, so we've got our stopwatch out. I have 11 seconds to fire 5 shots at this 15-yard target. So we're going to do this twice from here. All right, here we go. That was 5. I got a little carried away. I did it in 4.37 seconds. I should have slowed down. I went way too fast. The first time here at 15 yards, I got 36 out of a possible 50. So I didn't do nearly as good as I did just a slow fire. But I need to slow down a little bit this second time because I only used 4.5 seconds of my total 11 that last time. All right, there's 5, and I did it faster that time. 4 seconds and 4.17 seconds. So anyway, but at least I hit the steel 3 times. All right, so here we are back up at 25 yards. We've shot our 5-shot groups, both of them at 15 yards. And the first time we got 36 points. The second time we got 40 points. So here is probably what's going to be the hardest of all of them. We're going to shoot 5 shots in 11 seconds from 25 yards. All right, here we go. I got to slow down. I was going way too fast. The first 2 5-shot groups I did in just over 4 seconds. I got 11 seconds. I need to pace myself a little better. All right, so here we go. And that was it. That was 5. All right, we'll go see what kind of damage we did to our score. All right, so we've done our first rapid fire from here, 25 yards, and we got 39 points, which was all right. We did all right. So let's shoot this next 5-shot group and get this part of this test over with. All right, here we go. Yeah, going. I miss the steel every time. I should have slowed down. So we've done the slow fire, the untimed part. We've done the rapid fire, the timed part. So now this quick fire part, I think it was called, it requires a specific type of target. And here we have it laid out here. And it looks a lot like a silhouette. And around here, we're hunters. We don't do a lot of combat shooting. We don't do a lot of silhouette shooting. Practically, we do none of it. But anyway. But we do hunt for food, for meat. And so, a target, it's a refrigerator. It's full of food. So let's go up there to 25 yards and shoot this here refrigerator. Okay, so here we are at the third part of the test. This is the quick fire part of the test. We have a silhouette target down there. In their case, it's a refrigerator. And from 25 yards, we shoot 3 5-shot groups, and we only are allowed 3 seconds per each shot. All right, let's go.
Up. Time. Up. Time. Up. Time. Up. Time. Up. Time.
All right, so from that 5-shot group, I missed one. I pulled one to the left. Let's shoot this next 5 from 25 yards and see what happens. See if we can get all 5 of them in this, and at this time, still just 4. All right, here we go.
Up. Time. Up. Time. Up. Time.
All right, well, I missed one out of that group again. I got 4 out of 5. The third, let's try to get all 5 in at this time. All right.
Up. Time. Up. Time. Up. Time. Up. Time. Up. Time.
All right. That time I got all 5 of them in there. So let's go down there and look at our meat box and see how much food we actually did gather. All right, so we got 13 out of 15 shots. 2 of them outside the silhouette right here by my head. I got 13 here inside the silhouette. I seemed to have liked to put them here when I was taking my time. I was getting them here. That was my point of aim. And I had a few off to the side of that, but we did all right. So now we gotta add up the scores and see what we accomplished out of this here test. Well, it looks like the 45 ACPs, with the exception of maybe one, made it all the way through this here refrigerator. I don't think that one made it through. The 2 that hit on the very side over there didn't make it through either. There's gonna be a lot of structure on the corners. They didn't come through. So anyway, that's pretty neat. We shot that World War II pistol qualification test, and that kind of hurt. I scored 83% on the test, which was 2 points too little to make expert. So that would be a sharpshooter. If I had done a little bit better on the daggone silhouette, I shouldn't have pulled them 2 shots. I hadn't have pulled them 2 shots, I'd have made expert, I think. But anyway, hey, it was all in fun. We were just wanted to get out the old 1911 and shoot at some, and that's what we did. So till next time, y'all stay safe on the range, and God bless.